Mad Spider Production.
Then you should go and read the Bible. Same-sex marriage is totally wrong and we're totally against it. Fire, burn, you go burn them up, you know. Burn you, judgment, God. None of that can go on. None of that can go on. None of that can go on. No start of falling, none of them can perform. None of that can go on. None of that.
What's going on YouTube? R King SXM01 here again with another deck build. This is my Flamvell Quasar deck. Yes, you can bring out Quasar in a Flamvell build. I'm going to show you guys how it's going in this deck. Very simple, very easy, very explosive. As you know, I don't like to keep too much things going on in one deck. And yeah, here we go. In my build we got 3 Flamvell Fire Dogs. The main Flamvell engine of the deck helps you once it destroys monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard. You can special summon one Flamvell monster from your deck. Pretty much well said, doesn't need nothing else. We go on to 3 Flamvell Magicians, one of the main tuners in the deck. 3 Flamvell Babies. And then in my build here I run 3 Flamvell Hedgehogs. Actually 2. I prefer to run the Hedgehog rather than the Archer, seeing that it has that effect if you have more than 1 or up to 3 Flamvell type monsters in your graveyard and it's destroyed by battle, you remove a monster from your opponent's graveyard from play. I like that effect. It's like a defense kind of aspect for this deck build. And then I run 2 Flamvell Poon. Once it's destroyed by battle, you can add a Flamvell monster from your deck to your hand. Pretty much a search engine for the Flamvells. That's the end of the Flamvell section. I run it with a Lightsworn engine to speed it up. I run 2 Raikos, 2 Lilas, 2 Luminas, 2 Lilas, and 1 Jane, 1 Gareth, 1 Erin. That's a Lightsworn engine in the deck. Don't need to explain none of those, where everybody's familiar with Lightsworns and how they run. Alright, for the magics, we run 3 Rekindling, 3 Rekindling, special summon any amount of monsters in your graveyard that has 200 fire monsters in your graveyard that has 200 or less defense, and they're removed during the end phase once they're still face up on the field. But usually when you're bringing out your synchros in this deck, they go back to the graveyard, so that effect gets reset. Alright, and then I run 2 Solar Recharge for draw power, 2 Magical Stone Excavation. This is probably one of the most important cards in this deck. Powerful, very explosive. When the Rekindlings get dumped or when they are already spent, Magical Stone Excavation, you get rid of the Flamvells in your hand, you get rid of the Lightsworns in your hand, dump them out, add Rekindling back to your hand, +1 for you. I run 2 Golden Sark to get the Rekindling or the Magical Stone Excavation quickly to my hand. And then we have Monster Reborn staple, Heavy Storm staple, Charge of the Light Brigade to speed up the milling and to add that Lightsworn that I need at that particular time to my hand. And 1 Pot of Avarice. Because you spend so much monsters in the deck, you really need to regroup and refill. As the end of the magics, going on to the traps. Simple 5 traps. For drawing speed, I run 3 Reckless Greeds and 2 Phoenix Win-Win Blasts. Return a card back to your opponent on top of your opponent's deck. You discard a card. In that case, usually it's most times it's the Flamvell monster that you want in the graveyard to activate for Rekindling. Great card. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. And of course, like I said, in the Quasar build, it's a Quasar build, and so you need your Formula Synchron, Catastar, 2 Level Dual Slashers. These are the main level 5s for the synchro summoning of the Quasar. Brionic, pretty much a staple. Black Rose, in case anything goes wrong. Staple Stardust. and still at the same time you can run it with its main synchros, which is Red Dragon Archfiend, which I run 2 of. Mr. Worm, just to clear up a little bit of feel if I want to go for that simple OTK. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, just in case Quasar comes off the field by means of which you did not want it to come off. I run Ally of Justice Decisive Armor because it's another level 10. Sometimes the Shooting Star Dragon is spent and you can bring out another level 10. He's perfect. And then I run 2 Red Nova Dragons because it's just possible to bring out here. Also, it's real crazy to know that you can have a Quasar and a Red Nova side by side on the field in 1 turn. Yes, it can happen in this deck. You just need to have the right cards. Okay, simple little combo to bring out Quasar in this deck. Once you have these cards in your hand, then it's pretty easy and pretty much game for your opponent. Alright, you just need to make sure that you have at least 1 of each of these in the graveyard. Alright, which is Flamvell Fire Dog, the Magician, a baby, and a Poon in the graveyard. And you can have either 1 baby or 1 Poon in your hand. And that's pretty much Quasar coming on there. With 2 rekindlings. Okay? Or even 1. You can even do it with 1. So what you do, play rekindling. You bring these 4 out. Okay? You sink for 5. You bring out 1 dual slasher. You sink for 5 again. You bring out another dual slasher. Made a little bit of a mistake there. You would want to have 5 of them on the field, sorry. Which would be either 2 babies or 2 Poons. With the opposites in your hand. When I say opposites, I mean in either a Poon or a baby in your hand. In this case, I'm gonna do it with 2 Poons out on the field after playing the rekindling. And then, like I said, you would synchro for 5, dual slasher, sync for 5 again, dual slasher. So that leaves you with that. In this case, you have the 1 baby in your hand. You summon it. You synchro for 2. Get your formula synchron. And that's your 12 right there for Quasar. If you so happen to have another rekindling in your hand, then that is the plus for you to bring out Red Nova. You play the rekindling again. But in this case, you would need to have a Hedgehog in the graveyard as well. So you play the rekindling, you bring out Hedgehog, baby, dog, and Magician. Sink for 8. Red Dragon Archfiend. Sink for 12. Red Nova. And because of all the milling that happens during the course of the turns that you have, because of the Lightsworns, it is possible to actually have that happen. To have these 2 on the field, you have the field locked down. Your opponent cannot do anything. Alright, so that's my Flamvell Quasar build. Rate, comment, subscribe, Open to any comments or suggestions for the deck. If there's anything that can make it work a little bit better, a little bit faster, please let me know. Alright? Our King XXM01 signing out.